Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man at your services. How are you all? Hope you're all doing very, very well. Now, there are two things that I have to confront on a daily basis. Two things I have to handle. No, get the mucky thoughts out of your heads. The first one is that bloody viral picture of me that still whistles around the world and comes back to haunt me every day. Sometimes several times a day. I did a video on it a long time ago. Basically, around about 2016, some enterprising paparazzi snapped me on the way back from Asda with a couple of bags of shopping. But they took me from behind. And I'm there in the vest and the kilt and a couple of Asda bags, and I'm strutting and striding down the road. My hair is all super swishy. From that day onwards, all the sort of Facebook gossip sites latched onto it. And people that knew people that knew people that knew me were sending that picture all around different forums worldwide, saying, is this you? Or is this that guy you know? Is this? And they would always come back to me. And it just, every day, that was 2016. I'm still getting those sent to me every damn day. People message me from all over the world. Is this you? Because obviously someone else has seen it and sent it to them, or it's just gone viral in their community, their network, their whatever platform they're on. And they say, Kilt-Man, is that you? And I've got to go, yes, it's me, yes. Damn it, it's me, for God's sake. I wouldn't mind this. Because, you know, it's a bit of notoriety. Hey, I've gone viral. But there's infinitely better pictures of me. Let's put it that way. Dancing around town, bopping, giving it loads, bevies of beauties around me. Oh yeah, there's plenty of those. Most of which I took myself. In the hopes that they would go viral. But no. Never seemed to happen. All they did was get me a bollocking when I came home. But this bloody picture, it just keeps on coming back and back. But as I say, there are better ones. That's that. The other thing that I must confront on literally a daily basis is who's the thing at the end of John Carpenter's The Thing. Now, folks, I have discussed my favourite movie of all time, The Thing, many times, and I've addressed all of the theories and conjecture about not only who's the thing at the end of the movie, but all the other mysteries, who's assimilated first, who got to the keys, who got to the blood, how did Blair get out and do this, blah blah blah. All the myriad mysteries that this movie throws up. And I did a massive video on all these theories, which I'm going to put a link to below, because I explain everything far better in that. So please have a look at that video, because I'll go through everything with a fine-tooth comb. But yesterday, when I was in the pub, nothing unusual there, normal day, but I'd had the picture sent to me already. I wake up in the morning, and on my messages, you know, on your messenger, there's like, I get there, and I just had to go, yeah, it's me, yeah, or just, depending on who sends it to me. If I speak to them often, then I'll engage in conversation. Some people I just fucking ignore it, you know, yeah, fuck off, you know. Isn't it fucking obvious? The tattoo on the shoulder kind of gives it away. The kilt, the hair, everything gives it away. The numerous bottles of whiskey in the Asda bags kind of gives it away. Sorry, I'm going back onto the old venom and spit there. But John, good friend of mine, John, comes into the pub. And John is, he's a very big fella, probably a few years older than me. But he's tall and he's big as well. And he wears shorts. You've got a lot of people, like postmen, always wear shorts, no matter what the weather is. And I have an affinity with these people because I wear a kilt day in, day out, whatever the weather's doing. You know, seasons change, but, you know, I'm still wearing a kilt no matter what. I've I've gone across rivers, I've climbed mountains, I've gone through bloody snowdrifts and all sorts. Doesn't matter. I'm wearing a kilt regardless. So you get this kind of, kindred brotherhood with these guys. And weirdly enough, he came in and he wasn't wearing shorts. I was like, what the hell? He said, oh no, it's too cold. It actually is really cold at the moment because we've got this really terrible wind which is buffeting us right now. And today it's going to get to 60 to 70, possibly 75 miles an hour. So yeah, we're back in storm season again, folks. It's only going to get windier and wetter. But he come in and he has a little dog with him as well. Is it Millie or is it Molly? There's lots of little dogs called Millie or Molly around here. And of course I have my dog, who is a husky. She is the thing. And John's a big guy, as I say, and I'm a short arse. And I'm at the bar and I've got the dog there. And he does this thing. I know we all do it, but he talks through his teeth. I know we all talk out of this thing here, and our teeth get in the way of it, and our tongue flaps around on the inside of all that. But he does this thing. You're gonna hear that a lot. Where he sort of he leans back and he talks through his front teeth, but because he's so bloody tall and I'm so bloody short, and his head goes back like that as he's talking, I'm like, John, I'm not trying to pull his chin down so I can hear the words coming out and look at the sort of the mouth movements to try and lip read. But what he said was, Kilt-Man, I saw a documentary, and I thought, oh, this could be interesting, on your favourite movie. And then I thought, uh-oh. And he went, The Thing. Oh, Jesus. I braced myself. I thought, I've only had the picture sent to me a few times today, but no one's mentioned The Thing so far. I didn't expect it to be you, John. And he said, it's about the end. This is curious because he's a guy that I see all the time, and we've never spoke about movies, ever. We've spoke about the armed forces, our service history, weapons. We've talked about things like that, but we've never talked about movies, ever. But I do go in there wearing Macready's jacket and the full flight suit when I'm not wearing a kilt. When I'm doing cosplay or I'm in that kind of mood, I go with a Snake Plissken or I'll go as Macready in the flight suit. Once in a while I'll do that to just shake up the establishment, to rock the status quo a bit, blow someone's mind. I saw Kilt-Man and his legs were covered. There was no hint of tartan. What's going on in the world? And but the Thing t-shirts I wear a lot as well. Lots of imagery and stuff. So he knows, and he's your favourite film, the Thing, documentary. I went, oh, all right, yeah. What is it? It's about the end of it. Who's the Thing at the end? And it's about the black fella. Childs, yeah, played by Keith David, yeah. And I don't know about you guys, because if you're watching my channel, you're massively into your movies. So you may well be the person in the pub, the club, the whatever social scenario you happen to find yourself in, and people start talking about a film that you clearly know more about than they do, and you've got to try to bite your lip a little bit and not take over and correct everybody. Well, you might, but I don't. I launch it. No. He didn't direct that, and it didn't come out in that year. It didn't star so and so, and the whole narrative thrust was in this direction, not that. Yeah. I know. It's a good job I can fight, because I've had to stand my ground quite violently in the past. Oh, armchair and pub-going movie critics can be very, very violent, when the need arises. And so they all, yeah, okay. Well, what is it then? He said that Childs is the Thing, because, and I thought, okay, which theory you're going to go with here, or you're going to go with them all? But he did select one. He said, because you don't see him breathe. Well, okay, if you're going with that one, that's completely blown out the water, because you do see Childs breathe. You do see Macready, Kurt Russell, the vapour freezing in the mist, steaming in the mist, and in the freezing air. You do see that coming out of him with a great profusion. When the camera cuts to Keith David, you don't see much in the way of breath coming out, but you do see it, because it's just the lighting, the shadow, the camera angle for a period of that final enigmatic meeting of the two who've been at loggerheads throughout the entire movie. The poignant, poetic, haunting final face-off at what is a human rendition of the chessboard that Macready plays at the start of the movie. Macready was playing with white pieces against black pieces, and you've got the white guy against the black guy. It's a visual thing, not a cultural or ethnic thing. A thing again. It's definitely a thing, put it that way. And but you do see Child's breath. You do see it. So if anyone using that argument is null and void right there. And it's talking about the earring again, about the prequel, setting up, the fillings in the teeth and other stuff, rings, earrings, piercings, whatever. That's not canon. I don't care what anyone says. That film is enjoyable, but it's massively flawed. And the fact that it added in this whole thing about metal, it can't absorb that, can't assimilate that, so check for fillings in people's mouths. That was just a really crass way of, well, we can't really just do the blood test all over again. We must do something else. So I kind of get why they did it, but it does stink of desperation. And why it doesn't really work is it's not addressed at all in, John Carpenter's The Thing. Anyway, I'm digressing. In my opinion, as I've always said, and I saw the film when it first came out, way back in 1982. I saw it then and there. I was looking forward to it. I'd seen it advertised as forthcoming in Starburst magazine. And I already loved Escape from New York and Halloween, and I saw some Precinct 13 and The Fog. So John Carpenter was, oh my God. And I loved the original Thing from Another World. I've discussed this before. I know I'm going over really old ground here. That was the old ground raking over alert going off. But right from day one, I always thought that the two of them were human. And I thought, what a fantastic, ambiguous, yet tragic ending. Because the two of them are going to die on the arsehole of the world. No rescue team's going to get there. The two of them are going to die not trusting each other. Oh, it's really, amazing. It's a brave, a very courageous finale. And we know that Universal said to John Carpenter, for God's sake, you can't have that. People want to know what happens at the end, the conclusion. So John Carpenter was forced to film an ending where Childs seemingly freezes to death, but Macready's rescued and goes off to a base in Argentina and has the blood test. We haven't seen that footage, but there are stills that exist from it. I've discussed all this before, and Macready is human. But John Carpenter did not like that. Bill Lancaster, who wrote the screenplay, did not like that. Stuart Cohen, the film's producer, Todd Ramsey, the film's editor, Dean Cundy, the film's cinematographer, Kurt Russell, the main star, none of them liked that ending. So it never went out there, obviously. But you're left with this enigmatic finale. Now, this is the point I'm coming to. So me and John discussed this, and I said, no. You do see his breath, and they're both human. And he said, that's not what this documentary was saying. He was saying, keep doing it. He was going, no, the documentary was trying to put forward, and he saw it on YouTube as well, of course. Oh, the hypocrisy. So no, they're maintaining that the child is clearly the thing. All the evidence points to him. I've probably seen this documentary or little featurette, I don't know, but I can't quite recall one that definitively pointed a finger at Childs. Anyway, so he was like, no, that's what they said. I said, well, that's not the way I view it. And if you're going to use this breath thing, then it's died on its arse already, because he definitely does breathe, and you see him breathing. And you've got the whole thing about he passes a bottle of J&B, and the child just drinks it, and Macready just goes. And yeah, if you've got that narrative in your mind that what Macready just passed the child is actually a Molotov cocktail, and the thing wouldn't know. Of course the thing knows, it absorbs everything. Your memories, your personality, the whole bloody thing. It knows what you knew, it can eat what you ate, it'll have spliffs, it'll smoke weed and pots and all that, as Palmer does with Childs. Well, that's how Childs got assimilated. Yeah, could have been. But that doesn't fit the narrative of the movie itself. Anyway. You could talk endlessly in circles about this. And this is the great thing about the movie. Its mysteries, its enigmas never die. They don't fade away. New generations come in and they see it, and they go through the same conundrums that we all did when we first saw it. And that's why the film will last forever. Now, I'm not going massively into any of these theories. I've done it all before, and as I said, I'm going to put the link down below for an infinitely better and far more detailed video on this very topic, outlining all the different theories and discussion points and what have you. But my conclusion from this, the most recent sort of confrontation on this idea, is that what does it matter? At the end of the day, what does it matter? John Carpenter constructed a film with multiple mysteries, a Pandora's box of problems, of dilemmas, of situations and scenarios where suspicion and paranoia are the only result. And you'll never get to the bottom of who did what, when, where, how. You'll never get that. You can make up your own version, but the film itself does not tell you. And the film itself does not tell you definitively who's human and who's the thing at the end. It doesn't do it. Carpenter definitely did not think his film would be overanalyzed again and again and again. It had a disastrous run cinematically, theatrically, but on home video where it could be viewed again and again and again, it found its legs or its tentacles or its appendages or whatever you want to use, and it just, like the thing itself, it just gained more mass. It assimilated more fans exponentially. It has taken over the world. In actual fact, it has, because we're all fans. Every critic who panned it initially now adores this movie and admires the mastery that John Carpenter, who was never better, that he steered this Antarctic ship into really bizarre, quasi-metaphysical, body horror territory, and never came back properly, really. But that's why its mysteries still resonate. So at the end, it's all well and good me saying they're both human, and I've got good backing in that, because John Carpenter says that, because Stuart Cohen says that, Ted Ramsey says it, Dean Cundy says it, Kurt Russell says it, David Keith says it. I always get, there's another actor called David Keith, and it's Keith David. And but anyway, everyone says no, they're both human at the end. But if you watch the film does not make that clear. It leaves this ambivalence, this crazed warped paranoia at the end. And as Macready says, if we've got any surprises for each other, I don't think we're in much shape to do anything about it. Exactly that, and it just ends in this sort of Dante's Inferno, in the midst of a frozen hell. It's perfect, because it lets you make up your own mind. John Carpenter always says, when people confront him, who's the thing at the end? Oh, well, it's up to you. You make up your own mind. I have my ideas about it, but we didn't put it into the film. We didn't tell you. Oh, well, I need to know. Well, use your imagination, John Carpenter used to say. And they go, oh, no, oh, I hate that. And in the end, he got so sick of people saying, oh, I don't want to use my imagination. Oh, why should I? You should tell me. It's like, why should I spoon feed you everything? This is the essence of movie making and storytelling. Leave something to the viewer or the reader's imagination. This is why it works. This is why longevity, epic, iconic status has been bestowed upon this movie, because of that. And the great effects and the great performances and all that as well. And Ennio Morricone's fabulously haunting music. But after this sort of meeting with John, and a guy that I did not expect to even embrace or watch anything to do with the thing, let alone watch the movie itself, but also to watch a documentary on the movie. And it kind of made me think, look, whatever you think at the end of it, if you think Childs is a thing, if you think Macready's a thing, whether they're both things, whether they're both human, that's up to you. The film allows you to do that. The film gives you that scope. It gives you that avenue to explore with your own imagination, whether you want to use that thing called imagination or not. You've got to make up your mind. My mind is made up that they're both human, and I find that a really tragic and poignant ending. But you could equally see one or the other or both. I don't think both, because I think they would both realise that they're both things, and, well, victory is ours! Apparently they actually asked the thing as well, who do you think's the thing at the end? And the thing just replied, the director. But it's up to you guys. I confront this on a daily basis. I will confront it again today at some point, because a lot of people I know around here, and obviously you guys know, at a certain point in the day, me and my own four-legged thing often go for a trot around, and we end up in various alcoholic establishments. And conversation always turns to movies at some point during the session. And the thing, there's always someone new who joins the group, or someone overhears what you're saying, and they're that guy that I said before, when you should bite your lip. And then when you meet someone else who thinks they're a friggin' expert on the movie, and you go, hang on a minute, no, I'm the expert. I do all this stuff all the time. None of us are experts. And I think now, what the crux of this video is that, having discussed this so many times, and on the channel as well, live and let live. Assimilate and let assimilate. Whatever you think at the end of it, that's fine. They're both things. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I really don't care anymore. I know what I think, and they're human. But the thing is, don't be using stuff like, he's got a different jacket on. We know for a fact that that's a continuity error. We know that. So that's not a piece of evidence. It's not a visual clue. That's just a fuck up there. And the breath, you can't use that because you see the breath. And don't say, well, you don't. No, go and watch it again, because you do. That's what I was saying to John. No, you do see his breath. So, they were showing the footage, and no. I said, no, mate, go and watch it yourself. They obviously pruned out the bit where you do see his breath come out, because you do. I've discussed this, and you kind of go, but he's about 20 feet tall, so I'm not going to rage too much. You could just go like that, and just pile drive me through the floor of the pub. I'd end up in the beer cellar, obviously, so it wouldn't be too bad. But anyway, that was a sort of whimsical retaliation to the endless people that barrage me about this. But as I say, I also love the fact that people talk about it, that new generations come in and they will talk about it. I've spoken to many people much younger than me who found me in the pub and they go, oh, you do YouTube stuff, don't you? You're the Kilt-Man, you talk about it. And I'm usually sitting there with a flamethrower on, like in a big silly hat. Big mountain man beard. And but you end up talking, and they've always got like movie t-shirts on. So it's happened a few times recently as well. And I love it, but you will inevitably talk about the thing. Everybody loves the thing. It ain't going. It's not going anywhere. Carpenter's masterpiece isn't just his masterpiece. Everybody loves it now. And it's such a weird turn that it was, well, not despised, it was overlooked, ignored, neglected, and just, shove it in the corner. It's disgusting. The effects are horrible. No one cares. There's too many characters in it. There's no women in it. Blah, 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 blah. All those stuff that was directed at it when it first came out, they're all tricked. Here we go, is the main theme. It's now gone completely, in the other direction, and everybody loves it now and reveres it, admires it, studies it. And Carpenter did not set out to make a film like that. All these little mysteries. Bill Lancaster wrote that screenplay with these little things in there, these little elements, and it did evolve a little bit along the way. I mean, you have Alan Dean Foster's novelisation, which is there somewhere there, which was one of the earlier screenplays that Bill Lancaster wrote. Bill, son of Bert Lancaster, and so there's a few different character names in it, and different things happen. There's stuff out on the ice. There's a chase on the ice as well, with snowcats and all that. Yeah, all right, but none of this made it into the movie, of course. But the movie, as we see it, know it, we love it. It's perfect, as it is. Cheers, y'all. I was swigging the grouse. There is some remnants of J&B over there. I do occasionally get bottles of J&B, but I drink that mainly. J&B's lovely. It's the rusty nails of the blended Scotch, as I find. In some bars, that's a designer drink, and they'll charge you a lot for it. It's just a fucking blend, folks. It's like grouse. It's just a blend, but it's lovely. But I find it's not one that you can swig from the bottle, whereas I know Macready does, but I drink grouse from the bottle. That I'll pour into a glass. But you'll find that Macready, Kurt Russell, he puts a bit of ice in there. Ice in the middle of the fucking Antarctic. Why do you need ice in your bloody whiskey? And it's only a blend. Why would you do that? With whiskies, single malts, one little blop of water, one little blop. Oh God, I'm gonna stop doing this. Stop forcing people to, this is what you should do. Like the ending of the thing and all the other mysteries, it's down to you. You make up your own mind on it, and whatever you think, hey, I'm happy with it. However you want to drink your whiskey, that's up to you, and I'm fine with it. Folks, I'm about to embark on a watch party for the classic creature feature, Them. So that'll be coming fairly soon. So, in the meantime, and this oh God, when's that photo going to come back again and haunt me when there's so many better ones in between time? Please keep it Celtic, and I am going to see y'all later. Well, stick to it, Windows. Stick to it.